Hello everyone and welcome to another E3 press conference roundup, a thingy majig opinionated thing. We've been watching them all. I am joined again by Morph Shuffle. He's a great gentleman joining me again. I say hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Sorry,
his link is down below if any... Funny. His
Sorry.
link is down below to his channel. He does great content. If you want to check him out, make sure you do and give him a wee hi if you so desire. And when you go over there, we are on Ubisoft this time, who actually are a lot better than EA. This one's probably going to go up before EA because I'm just going to do EA myself, but I've had a lot going on. But we're here again. So,
oh yes, we are.
there was a lot showing, some good titles, a lot that us and other friends and that are actually looking forward to be honest.
For definite. I just don't know where we can really start because it started on a high, it ended on a high. There was lots of highs in the middle.
How about we get the dull one out of the way? They announced another Just Dance game and Just Dance Unlimited, and that's all we're going to say about it. Moving on.
Oh no, you got to say one thing. There's one more thing I've got to say.
Oh, no.
Ubisoft, next time you do it, get Carlton Banks from Fresh Prince to come do the Carlton dance. Don't hire Jason Derulo to sing because he's shit live. And he also can't dance that well.
Anyway, we're going to move on because that's all we're going to say about the matter.
Yep.
It was horrible. Apart from that, we had a lot of good gameplay shown, but some people were wary of Ubisoft, but it seems Ubisoft have taken that on. We're like, yeah, we know guys, we buggered up. I'll say buggered up so it makes the video okay for younger audience.
Yep.
But first, they showed off some more Rainbow Six Siege, which looks fantastic.
I want Siege so badly.
The destructible environments, like someone just takes up your grenade launcher and shoots through the wall and you're just like, oh my god, and jumping behind someone's shield and popping out slightly and working together. And I just believe like me, you, Sherlock, and hopefully Conflict, you get together as a team of 4 and it just seems like it would be so good.
But the thing is, who'd be the leader in that?
Probably Sherlock.
Yeah, no, I can't take orders from him that well because everything he does, I just do completely different.
It's like Morph go left, goes right.
Yeah,
What happened to Morph? He died.
Be quiet now, I'm going to shoot. No, because if I die in this game, I'm dead for good.
Yeah, that brings us on to a fairly good point there, actually. Anyone who watched press conference, or hasn't, if you were watching this and finding out about it, your character, or what it seems, is like you die, it's like a permadeath thing. They didn't really go into too much detail, but they said, once your character's dead, it's gone. So
I can imagine it'll be like XCOM where you die and then you just get, instead of Fred Jones, you got Jones Fredericks. Like literally, they'll just change slight features about them and they get a new one in.
And it's actually coming out this year, which is pretty cool. So excited for that, definitely. Graphically the game looks impressive. It's definitely, we all remember our review of Rainbow Six game before, and people were like, and then they went back to drawing board and brought this out, and everyone's excited, and now it's coming out. Hopefully without bugs. You mean?
Oh yeah.
We remembered last year.
We always remember.
The North remembers.
It does indeed.
So I'm excited for that. Are you excited? Yes.
Yeah, of course. Can't wait.
So they also, now I don't know if you've played the crew, but they're releasing a rather large expansion pack thing for it.
But I've not played it personally.
It does seem to be sort of like tournament things going on, and they're adding monster trucks, which is, I always agree monster trucks should be in games. They're so cool. And they look to be, the crew, like the cars wise, the modelling and everything, the actual driving and all that, it's a lot of fun. So with monster trucks just like burling along the sand along next to Ellie, not Ellie.
I've never played the crew yet.
What's the place that's out in the sand in casinos?
Las Vegas?
That one.
The place that's out in the sand with casinos. It's the best description of Las Vegas I've ever heard.
That's what it is. Come on.
Okay.
But could you imagine there's a monster truck just driving down there?
That'd be quite cool, actually.
Yeah. I don't like the way the game industry's it's basically the outside, like it's the actual consumer that constantly goes, oh, it's DLC. And when it's an actual expansion pack, and people are like, DLC, and it's like, no, DLC is like little bits and bobs here and wee things and wee missions, whereas like an actual expansion pack is quite different. It's a pretty substantial amount of content, and it looks pretty fun. Don't know if I'll get it. I'm kind of on the fence. Might get it. See what it's like. Maybe. Your thoughts on it?
It's not for me. That's not one.
Not a racer?
Well. No. Well, I think the last racing game I played was like Burnout Paradise, and before that it was like the original Need for Speed. So I'm not a massive racer. Or Forza 1 might have been one of the very first ones I had, but I just don't really play them.
Well, next up we have the big, massive amount of, like, everybody's looking forward to this game. It was huge, and it is The Division.
Yes. Oh, there was a dick move in. There was a bad move in there.
So the
PG.
Anybody who's wondering what Morph is talking about, Ubisoft went the way of showing you how much of a dick you can actually be in the game. You can pretty much leave your squad, kill them, and loot their corpses.
Yep. Right.
But I'm wondering, like, they're saying it was like the Dark Zone sort of trailer, you know, like, you work together, you can work together with other teams, and then you can kill everyone.
I think they're trying to do the, what is it, DayZ? You know, when you're like running around, you see another survivor, you'd be like,
I'm wondering if there's like
skeptic on you.
Some sort of like repercussions in a way though. Like, they didn't really go into that. I'm assuming it'll be shown in more sort of gameplay, and, you know, if you do this, people will know, or if you do this, you know, people are not going to work with you, or you'll get the reputation, or you might, you know, get, you know how there's something like compared to Fable, you know how the things, well, the first one anyway, if you did bad things, you become evil. If you did good things,
yeah, you got the little horns come out, and if you did good, you got the
that sort of thing. I am curious.
I can't imagine they would, because it looks, since it's all got the whole post-apocalyptic feel on it, it's going to probably most likely be you'll just be a lone survivor. So other people might not trust you as more, or you might come across as, oh yeah, he's on his own, but yeah, he's fine. He's not a hazard. He wants to help us. He wants to be with us, and then you can do the whole let's screw him over again business. I
am interested in how that will work. Because if you screw your friends constantly, they're just going to go, no, I don't want to play with you.
Oh, so. But you know it's going to happen so much. I can think of one person in particular that I would kill constantly if I had a chance.
I know exactly who you're on about. Yeah.
Well, you tell me after this, then we'll go from there.
But The Division, it looks fantastic. It is using the new engine that the studio is actually building. It's not out till next year, but they said March 8th, was it?
I think March 8th.
It's 8th or 9th, and it's like a worldwide release on all platforms at the exact same time, which is fantastic news. I just don't want to wait till March.
Unfortunately, we've got to wait for quite a lot of games.
Yeah, but
it is tuned, don't get me wrong, but we still have a long time to wait.
Yeah, but The Division is looking fantastic, and the amount of actually sort of depth to the game is pretty darn insane as well. Can't wait to get my hands on it and get into some games with people and have some fun, because I know Sherlock is really excited about this. I am, and I'm assuming you are, the way you're going on about it.
Yeah. These are the games that I like. These are my games. They're the ones that I will play for hours on end. So
now we've discussed like what has, like, the games that we already know about, or like we knew kind of going into E3 and what Ubisoft is likely to show. But it seems to be a trend by Ubisoft that they always show off a new IP or something really new. We'll start off with a little one where
Can I say it? The one that I'm really excited about. You know which one?
Does it begin with T?
It might do.
I'm going to let Morph take over this one and let you.
It might not be the same one actually. It begins with T. Was it quite cartoonish? I want about cartoon. No. Oh, you go first. No, you go first then. If you want to do the cat one, you can go first.
There is a new Trials game coming out, and it has a cat riding on a unicorn blowing fire out its mouth. I'm not going to say any more than that. It's just...
The thing is, it came up and we had no idea what it was, because all we saw was a first of all golden pistol, then a horse, and then the horse suddenly became a unicorn, and then we saw a cat. I literally sat there like, what is this? And then it's just like, hey, it's Trials.
Could
Sweet.
you imagine being in the actual crowd there and just sitting there going, what the... I want this.
Me too. I really, really, really want
Ubisoft
that game.
are, like, I've always found they're a little bit more lenient and a lot more risky with what they'll do with their IPs as well. Like, they'll take a bit more chance, and you know, take more chance on smaller games as well, and just gets a bit more creative. And I get they got a lot of flack for last year for Unity mostly, because the other games did handle mostly okay. They were mostly quite stable. But they do tend to be a bit more creative.
Yeah. For
the most part, compared to other publishers. Like, compared to, like, Activision is like the polar opposite. EA is a bit more sort of not so much iterative in a way. They just tend to they keep in the safe zone, I find, a bit too much. Bethesda though went a bit. I think Bethesda and Ubisoft are kind of up there with each other at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have that one, and I'm going to hand you over to Morph to now discuss the next one. Go on, sir.
When this one came on, it was the first thing I saw. I played the first one, and the first one was brilliant. It was funny because I love that franchise as it is. It's the first game they've ever done, and they thought, Jesus Christ, we're actually good at making games, so we'll make a second one. And they won't settle for anything less than a 9.5 on GameStop, and it's going to be South Park, The Fractured Butthole. It's not South Park The Stick of Truth 2, like what we've seen already. South Park are doing a new one, and the thing is, they went through the whole trailer as if they were still doing the Stick of Truth, and then all of a sudden they go in front of the...
Hold up, wrong game!
Yeah, they go in front of the fence where the Professor Chaos is like, oh god, now we're doing superheroes now, everyone change. And they jump back.
Self-aware.
Yeah, it's a game where they know exactly what's going on, and it's South Park, and it's funny as hell. I cannot wait for it.
But yeah, folks, we are getting a new South Park game, and it looks as awesome as the first one. I mean, when the other one came out, people were like, what's this going to be like? And then everybody played it, everybody loved it. Now we're getting another one with more craziness. I don't think you could ask for more.
The thing is, it's South Park, so it will always push the boundaries. It doesn't care. It will get to that point where it will touch on a subject.
Oh, I played the first one.
Oh, I've got the first one, and it's so amazing.
And then we had a new IP, which to me looks freaking fantastic. Like, it really does. For Honor.
Yes, For Honor.
For Honor seems to be a sort of mix. I would say Dynasty Warriors, like a 4-player Dynasty Warriors, because you have like the big hordes coming in, and then you have the 4 players going to duel. And basically you can be as like looks like a knight, samurai, a Viking.
Crusades, samurai, yeah, it's them three are what they've shown, but I've got a funny feeling when it comes out there's going to be more. 5
or 6 I would say, sort of like types of characters could go, and they showed off the sort of duel function. You just have a samurai fighting off against a knight, and you're just like, this looks insane. And the actual graphics look really good. The modelling looks fantastic. The actual environments look fantastic. The amount of blood looks cool.
Oh, there's so much blood.
Just like cutting through bodies and chopping off bits and bobs. You're like, ooh. I mean, it started out as a cinematic trailer, and everybody's like, oh, right, is this all we're going to get? And then suddenly it was like, no, here's some multiplayer gameplay, and the presenter was brilliant.
Yeah. He
was so much in the sort of part, beard and the cane, and just right in there, and I was like, you'd fit in as an actual Viking.
He did look like he belonged in the game. I was surprised he didn't walk out in like a suit of armor. I'd just take the helmet off and be like, yeah, so anyway.
I mean,
it's our game.
But anyone, guys, I think we're both looking forward to For Honor. It actually looks fantastic. I mean, Ubisoft has gone down this route of a lot of co-op games, which if you have the right people to play with, can be good. The only thing is, I find if you want to play this in solo, might be a bit tricky. They haven't really shown what a single player type thing is. Like, do you get bots, or is it just you and one other? That's the only thing I worry about for types of games like this. Because it's like you would have to have 3 other people to make this work, which is slightly,
I can imagine they might do one where they do it as, so if you've got 4 people, it's going to be this level of difficulty. If you've got it as 1, they'll scale it down.
Yeah.
I think that might work.
Yeah, we'll probably get more details as we go on, because I don't think it's released until next year anyway. But it's nice to see another new IP coming in, because like we get new IPs very few and far between, because again, games industry and games are really expensive to make. But
they're becoming more expensive than films.
Yeah, but it gets to the point you kind of have to make something fresh for the developer's sake and for the consumer market. It's like, oh yeah, right, we've got Uncharted, we've got Gran Turismo, we've got Forza, we've got Halo, but you're like, wait, we need something new.
We do indeed.
So it's good to see that. And then we have Ubisoft's big titan in the house, and we all kind of know what that is.
Do we? I'm not sure.
I know it's not anything dance related. It's Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is based in sort of Victorian London, and
it looks so good.
It looks really good, and it seems to be going in the fact that you can like build up some sort of mini army.
Yeah, it's basically there's going to be loads of different syndicates. Well, I think it's 3 syndicates. I'm not 100% on that, so if someone's comments down below, I'm sorry. But it's where it's going to go similar to when if you played Saints Row, where you've got your syndicate and there's like loads of different other ones, and you can capture territory, take out key targets, and get more people involved on your side.
Because it was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood that someone did that. You could like add assassins, but it didn't seem that well implemented, and hopefully it's a bit different this time and it's a lot better. I did like the whole point where you just grabbed your target, so to speak, and like hang them. It's like, I'll leave it with you guys. Just walks out and just has a crowd of people ready to defend him. You're like, okay.
Yeah. And then they go into a pub and he beats the crap out of one person. Then you get more followers. You're part of the Rooks, which are the yellow ones. Even though your guy, you can, one of the 2 you can play, has got a red bandana on, which would indicate that he's part of one of the other syndicates.
The game is looking pretty darn fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, I'm looking forward to it. Still need to catch up on Assassin's Creed. I really wish they made it like every 2 years or something, because having it every year, I'm just like, I can't keep up.
The thing is, with Assassin's Creed, if I'm not playing Assassin's Creed, I lose where I am.
Yeah.
I will literally lose my shit. I will be like, I don't remember doing this. Like, I've not played Assassin's Creed in a while, and I know for a fact that when I go onto it, I'm just going to look at it and be like, where am I going? What am I doing?
I'm wondering if they'll have some sort of multiplayer aspect, because they usually, like, I've seen Assassin's Creed and I've played a few of the ones with multiplayer, and they've always done it really well.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what kind of aspect of that, because I'd prefer to kill you. I mean,
work with me. I've got a funny feeling that Syndicate's not going to be multiplayer. I don't think actually it's multiplayer.
Could be.
It's not. Wait.
And this is where we wait to see if Morph can check these facts.
Why Assassin's Creed Syndicate does not have multiplayer. Ubisoft confirms no multiplayer for Assassin's Creed because it didn't work in Unity. Hardly anyone got it working correctly. That's why they didn't do it. I knew it was no multiplayer. Even though you can play as 2 people, it would be good to do co-op, but if it don't work, it don't work.
Not good co-op?
No multiplayer at all.
Ah well. Anyway, folks, I think we'll round that up by the saying what was our biggest sort of thing of the show. So what was yours, Mark?
South Park.
I knew it was going to be that.
That's what I want. I want that game so badly. I didn't realise we were going to do a second game. I thought
that was a nice surprise.
They only did 1 movie, so I thought they were only going to do 1 game. That would be nice.
Why was it your favourite bit then?
Because I just love South Park so much. South Park has been in my life a very long time. I watched it way before I was the recommended age to watch it. I love it. I love the fact that it pushes every boundaries and will literally make fun of everything. Because I find things funny that I shouldn't really find funny, but then again, I'm open to things like that. I'll happily laugh at things that definitely aren't funny because I'm seeing the lighter side. But that game just looks like it will be a good idea. They did the whole knights, wizards, elves, all that sort of thing. They're now moving on to the superheroes. I think the fact that it's going to be Coon and Friends, that's Raccoon by the way, because he's dressed up like a raccoon. I think that's going to be I think it's going to be a massive Mickey take on the Avengers and Justice League.
Probably.
It's going to be a massive Mickey take.
I'm looking forward to it. I wonder if you can guess what my sort of game in the show would be.
What, your ultimate one? Your one game of it?
Of Ubisoft's one.
Will either be Siege or Crew.
The Division.
Damn it!
Well done. Now, The Division, for the new engine looks fantastic. The actual depth of the game, I can't wait to actually get stuck in and just, build a good character and have the environment, because the environment sort of really reacts to everything. I mean, bullet holes show up in cars and ground, the snow, the environment. It looks like a ton of fun and just something that you can really get immersed in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, folks, that is us rounding up the Ubisoft one. Thank you again for. We both thank you, should I say, for joining us for this Ubisoft Roundup opinions, reaction, whatever you wish to call it. If you want to see the other press conferences and everything, the link shall be down below, and there's a playlist if you want to go see. Marth has joined me for Bethesda and Microsoft, and he has been awesome. Thank you again, Marth.
No problem at all. Well, I'm sure I'll be back for another one.
There's another few to go. Anyway, folks, this has been Ubisoft's one, and we shall see you next time.
Bye for now.